Forget about that one. And you keep them coming in. You're doing well, son.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Are you a veteran who served in combat after the Gulf War and was discharged between September 11, 2001 and October 1, 2013? If so, you may be eligible to apply for PACT Act benefits during a special enrollment period that ends on September 30, 2023. The PACT Act expands benefits and care for veterans exposed to burn pits, toxins, Agent Orange, radiation, and other environmental hazards while serving. Act fast. Even if you applied before and weren't eligible, you may be eligible now. The deadline to apply is September 30th. For more information, go to va.gov/PACT. That's va.gov/PACT.
Been home about 6 months now, and I still have my doubts. Well, I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. Well, my mama says I look the same as I did before I left, but if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown, and when they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. And while they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare. 'Cause part of me is here at home, but part of me's back there. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Yeah, there's no end in sight. 'Cause even though I'm home now, I'm still fighting for my life. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Well, the devil's won some battles, and he may win some more, but don't he know the American soldier will always win the war?
All right. Well, let me fix my audio so you all can hear me. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, man. I know they are upgrading the area out here at night, but man, can a brother get a warning that we're not going to be having internet for a minute? I mean, damn.
Nah. Surprise.
Yeah, this ain't the first time it's happened. I would have thought they had been done by now. So, well, I guess we're way past intros, man. So, welcome to my world. How y'all been, man?
We're doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, I cannot complain, man. So, for everybody out here that does not know about Herostock, I would believe that your head is in the sand, man, because it has been on about every podcast that is out there. So
Yep, pretty much.
let's give everybody a real quick overview, because I know you've been on the show before, about where it started, and then also, if you don't mind, Jesse, we'll get into a little bit of Wheels for Warriors too, and talk about how it started, and then we'll talk about Herostock and how we're all coming together.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, man. Go ahead, Jason.
Last year, we put together an event. I had basically 45 days from the day of the idea to the day of the event. And we kind of threw it together, put 2 bands on stage, had a food truck, cornhole game. There was probably 50 or 60 prizes that we gave out. Ended up just being a really cool night. Ended up being a great networking piece. Jesse jumped in and helped me out. I had a couple other people that jumped in and helped me out, make sure it ran good. We got done with the event, and like everybody kind of came together and they're like, dude, you got to do this again. Like, this is legit. You got to do it again. And so I grabbed Jesse and a couple other people, and we formed a board and got our nonprofit work, and had to change the name from Vet Stock to Herostock. And when we did that, we included the first responders and Gold Star families, to be able to honor all of our nation's heroes. Which has been really cool to add that piece to what we were doing. And it's just kind of blown up from there. It's grabbed traction. A lot of people grabbed a hold of it and kind of ran with it. And it's been pretty cool watching it grow.
Yeah, man. I wasn't a part of it last year, but I'm going to tell you, man, it's funny when you're just like surfing the net and all of a sudden you see people talking about it. You're
Right.
like, yeah, man, it's reaching people.
Yeah. I just listened to a podcast today. Thompson was on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lady that I contacted really early on. And I was like, hey, would you be interested in covering this event? She's like, yeah, sure. That would be great. Get back with me when it gets closer. Well, he went on her podcast and they started talking about Herostock. And she's like, oh yeah, I've heard about this. But yeah, then he reiterated it. She's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, we need to be part of that. And so I was like, all right, cool. People are still talking about it, right? It's growing.
And after it's over with, guess what? They still going to be talking about it.
Yep.
And that's I always tell Jason, like with the Wheels for Warrior stuff, every time we do an event, that's when the fires, like that's when the wheels are greased, that's when the fire is going, and that's going to be the same thing with Herostock. So I'm going to throw out there that all of the word of mouth and all of the stuff that is happening, I'm going to give props to this guy, because this guy has been on the podcast. He's spreading the word. He's out there sharing this. And I'm a little bit behind the scenes on a lot of the stuff that we do, but this guy right here has been killing it. So yeah.
I don't know how he's not dead, man. I really don't. It's like when do you sleep?
Between about 3 and 5 in the morning. That's my prime time.
Yeah.
I did warn him early on, because I've done a lot of events over the years and been at this for a while. And I said, I was like, these are all of the things that are about to happen or about to come. And I think
98% of them. Yeah.
They've all happened at some point along the timeline. And I'm like, it's all of the growth process, man. It's all about what this is about. And yeah.
And the cool part of this is we've hit so many nonprofits that I had no clue existed, right?
Oh yeah.
And now we're extended outside of Nebraska. Like, we went up to Primal Outfitters, fished with Gunny up there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a hunting trip with Boho. They're coming into Nebraska.
Which I got to do last year, which was incredible. I did a double ram hunt up in Pennsylvania, which was
wow,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So yeah, I mean, it's and we're hitting people that I had no clue even existed. And, now we've got all this network going on where, now we're looking at different states that doing this in. So it's like, hey, we've already got a contact up here. We've got a contact in Nashville. We got a contact in Missouri. And, it's super cool because then those people are grabbing a hold of what we're doing and they're pushing it out to their people. So it's really been cool watching the growth of this. It's been insane.
Like I said, that's what's been pretty cool. Like Jason calls me, he's like, man, I just got contacted by another state that wants to host this Herostock event. And I'm like, I'm trying to add up the states. I'm like, all right, we got this state. We got like 5. We're at 5 right now. And this is like 7. And it's like,
I think we're at 18 right now that want to host Herostock.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if Every Day's Saturday is correct about this. Can y'all read it? It says Jesse jumped out of a plane because Steiner didn't want to.
They sure did. I don't like flying to begin with. I sure as hell ain't jumping out of a perfectly good plane. There is no way.
When he got the invite, he told me, he's like, there's no way. He's like, I'm not the guy, but I know the guy. Yep. He called me and I was like, put me on the list. I'll be there.
No, I don't jump out of planes.
So, for those who don't know, Jason has a full-time job on top of this. He owns a business, and I know how I feel when I get off work from this heat, and I'm not doing near what you're doing, working outside and then coming home, holding board meetings because you're like part of, I don't know, like every group in the world, and my hat's off to you, brother, because man, you'd run laps around me. I can't do it.
But it's all part of that mission, right? It is helping somebody to save one, helping somebody to be able to fundraise to help their nonprofit grow, to save that person, save that veteran, save that first responder.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, right? And you sacrifice some stuff to do what you got to do to make that happen. And I've kind of been blessed that, I've had people reach out on these other boards that they're like, hey, we want to add you in as an advisor, or we want to give you a position on the board. Because the last nonprofit I helped run, we kind of went through some bad stuff, and, I can help guide people away from some of the stuff that we went through, so they don't have to.
Yeah. You've been helping us with, you're listed as an advisor for us with Gunroom Radio. So you know.
And I'm on the Dom Deuce Outfitters Ministry board. I'm on Sit Rep 22 board. I'm on the advisor for Nebraska Warriors, the advisor for the gun room. But I mean, it's just all part of it, right? I mean, it's what you do. It's your purpose. It's your service. It's what you do.
Yeah. When I first started podcasting and running the radio station, there was a moment in my life where I said, man, I love doing this. I would do whatever anybody asked, but I've recently found myself saying, I just don't have any more time. Right. I'm just between work and everything else. It wouldn't be right because I couldn't give you 100% of my attention. When the radio station gets a little bit further along and starts running on its own, that may be a possibility. But right now, man, it's a struggle, man.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears. I like how I said that. Let's shift gears to Wheels for Warriors, man. And let's talk, because I know y'all are growing too, and y'all gone through these same struggles that we were just talking about. So let's talk about your program and how it came about and what you do.
Yeah, Wheels for Warriors USA. We're a 501c3 national nonprofit, 100% nonprofit. All of our money goes to our programs. We've been doing this since 2016, but essentially we give 100% free motorcycles to veterans as part of a mentorship program. And we partner with veteran organizations all across the United States to do these programs. And we have given away 38 motorcycles since 2016. And we have 5 more that we're doing this year. So one of them is going to be a Herostock. So yeah, it's It's an amazing program. Working with Jason and the Herostock stuff, we've thrown around a lot of ideas and talked about a lot of different things. But, I've been doing the veteran nonprofit stuff for a long time. I'm former combat veteran, Combat Vet Motorcycle Association chapter commander. Started a chapter here in Nebraska and worked doing a lot of different things from homeless veteran placement to you name it. I mean, we've done it all. In that, with every group, with every organization you're with, you have growing pains. I've experienced them all. Experienced a lot of growing pains with Wheels for Warriors because of our program. But, coming on and helping Jason and, when he came to me with the idea and said, hey, man, I want to have this garage party and, I just want to get veterans together. I'm like, hey, I love the idea. I'm on board. Then we had the event and I'm like, this was something much bigger than just veterans hanging out tonight. Like this was something much bigger. And, he was like, I think we need to make this into something. And as soon as he said the word, I'm like, bro, I'm in, dude. I'm like, tell me what you want to do. So, I've always been the event guy. I've always been the guy that hosts the events. I've always been the one that, puts on the big, displays and all the different type of stuff. And I said, man, I was like, if you want me to come on, I was like, I'll be your event guy. Let's do this. And now I'm sitting back and I'm like, I thought I was coaching him. And I'm like, now I'm taking notes, man. I'm like, I gotta get on these podcasts. I gotta get on, getting on and spreading the word a little bit more, get out of the garage, quit wrenching.
Yeah, man, dude. I watch everything he does, man. I'm like the guy in the bushes going, what the hell's he doing now?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Jesse brought in like all the talent, right? He has all the contacts for the big talent guys. And I didn't get first starting into this. Well, now my phone looks ridiculous. You type in veteran and it brings up like 80 different contacts because it's always like Joe Allen Christie, veteran singer, Shannon Book, veteran singer. You type in veteran and it's just a whole laundry list of people. Yeah. And it was so cool to get these contacts. And now we're sharing contacts and it's like, make it bigger and better.
The awesome part of that is some of my contacts, like I'm friends with Kyle Conkle, the bass player from Bad Wolves. Mm-hmm. And like, he was just in town in Lincoln playing the other day and we hung out with him for 2 days. Like, I mean, just hanging out with the boys, and stuff like that. So it's like
backstage at the Five Finger Death Punch concert and
hanging out with Chris Kale from Five Finger Death Punch and stuff. It's like, the fact of what Jason is building with like the Herostock and like our whole board is because I'm on the Herostock board. I'm the event MC for Herostock. So it's like, being a part of this and seeing what it's growing into, we're having conversations now where, Wheels for Warriors USA, we do anywhere from 5 to 15 motorcycle presentations a year. Mm-hmm. And Jason's talking about taking this Herostock on the road and doing a 5 to 10 concert series event. And it makes absolute sense that, we partner and we start giving away Wheels for Warriors motorcycles at every single one of these Herostock concert series events. So we're having conversations about taking this on the road, going state to state, doing the presentations that we're already doing, implementing the programs that we're already doing with Wheels for Warriors, and partnering with Herostock to give away these motorcycles at the Herostock concert series.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, man. And I'm not going to lie, that was kind of one of the big pushes for why I started, because originally I wasn't going to try to get the 501c going and everything till next year for Gunroom Radio. And I just seen, how much everything's expanding. And I think Gunroom Radio fits in this category as being able to come and stream things and just help continue to get the word out. And so that was when he started talking about that. That was my big push to say, okay, you know what, we need to get our shit together and become more organized if we're ever going to get to that point, And so that was where all that came about from watching Jason, and we haven't even talked about Ruck It Up for Warriors. I mean, they're coming into this as well. And I know they got a lot of big stuff going. I should have reached out to Scott and had him come on, but it slipped my mind. But yeah, Ruck It Up for Warriors is without a doubt, man. Originally, he was just going to do like a little, because he was talking to me when he was on my show, like a little half K or something, real small little ruck march. And now, if I'm not mistaken, it's turned into something a little bit bigger. Am I right?
Yeah, it's like 12 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's 12 miles more than I want to ruck, but knock yourself out, man.
Yeah.
And they're doing the ruck battle and the ruck march. And,
we also have Randa's Ride, which is we have for Wheels for Warriors. We have a gal who sponsors us every year. She does a iron butt ride, which for anybody who's not familiar is 1,000 miles in 24 hours. That's not for the faint of heart. That's
absolutely not.
That's putting some time in the saddle and getting some windshield time. So they do this every year to raise awareness for veteran suicide, and they do it and raise funds and raise awareness for Wheels for Warriors in our programs. And Randa and her family, they've raised enough money in the past years to implement at least a couple of our programs. So single-handedly, we have a young woman who is, just in high school, who is supporting Wheels for Warriors and has already, paid for 2 of our programs. And she's going to leave Friday the night before, go down to Oklahoma, where they're going to turn around and come back for Herostock. And they're going to be arriving at the event at Herostock during the event. So they'll be rolling in with a group of motorcycles. We got the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. They have in their state meeting, they actually moved it from the other side of the state to come back to Herostock. So we're going to have the entire Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association there in support. I mean, this is.
People have seen it, man, and they've just grabbed the whole. Like, they see what we're doing, and they're like, this is cool, man. It's needed, and it was something that I never realized that it was needed until after the event last year. And it's like, okay, well, I guess, this really is needed. It's that networking piece that a lot of groups shy away from. They don't want to work with somebody else. They don't want to give up their glory. And my idea is we're all fighting in the same freaking sandbox. So let's all work together and join as one team, create that family of nonprofits to be able to help everybody.
Yep.
I think there's a lot to say about the mom and pop 501cs. And that's really everybody that's been on my show. That's where the category they fall in, and when I see those organizations like you're referring to that want to become the one-stop shop and the Superman cape and everything, they forget there is a program out there that is a one-stop shop, and you can look at the reviews on them. They're called the VA,
right?
And it is impossible for somebody to create a one-stop shop that's going to help every single veteran's problem out there and be able to do it for free and still keep the veteran in mind, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
But that's the absolute beauty of Herostock is that right there is we don't care what is your niche, what is the thing that you're doing. Come and share that with the veterans, the first responders. Show us what you're doing. Herostock will vet these places and ensure that these places are, good for the veterans and that they're upstanding, before we're going to allow them to come to Herostock. So come and share who you are. Come and share, what it is you're doing and what you're providing, and let the people who are attracted to that come be a part of that. If you're fishing, hunting, motorcycle, podcast, like Ruck March, whatever, it doesn't matter. Come celebrate what it is you do, share it, and be a part of the community.
The way I look at it is yes, it's a networking opportunity, but what it really is, it's iron sharpening iron. And the reason why I say that is because with the other podcast with Guns N' Roses that I've been doing, we've been talking a lot about tools in your toolbox, and no different than you as the individual fighting for mental health and trying to get yourself back together, you've got to have tools in your toolbox. Well, so does all these 501c. And that's what it is we're coming back and we're seeing all these other groups. So when we do encounter somebody that needs help, I don't have to be that guy to create that program and solve it. It already exists. Let me refer you to so-and-so. And I met them at Herostock, and now I've got another tool in my toolbox to help veterans. I didn't have to create it. It was already created.
Right.
And that's what I think the beauty of it is we're just putting tools in our toolbox by going to an event and having a great time and putting camaraderie back together, so that throughout the year, we're even going to be able to talk to each other and get ideas and help each other through our hard times. Because, you know, it is true that even the people running the 501c's, you know, that there's times that they need help as well. And so it's important that we're bonding and locking shields and helping each other get through these, as well as still continue to help each other's mission, because I may need you to help so-and-so for what you do. You know?
It makes absolute zero sense to be in any competition with any other group in this realm that we live in, because if you are there in support of, then you need to be there in whatever aspect it is. So if you're another group that's you know, if I'll throw it out there, if you're one of the groups out there that's eating up 90% of the, you know, the donations, and, you know, you're spending $78 million a year on admin fees, well, you know, these grassroots movement, you know, organizations, they're the ones that are suffering. You know, these groups are the ones that, you know, we're out here doing the work, and, you know, we're in the community, and, you know, we're the small organization, you know, just trying to get by to do what we do. And you know what? I'm a lot happier doing those things and being a part of things like Herostock and being amongst the community, because you get a real sense of what it's all about. And, you know, I don't ever want Herostock to be that, you know, spending $78 million on admin fees annually to do things.
Neither do I.
I don't either, you know, and yeah, the same. That's one thing I've said all along with Gunroom Radio. You know, nobody's going to own it. Gunroom Radio is going to be its own identity to help veteran artists. That's what it's going to be, and it's just going to be ran by lucky people to be a part of it. And that's really the way I look at it. You know, and as far as raising funds and stuff, we should raise enough that we need, and that's it. You know, we're not out there building homeless shelters. Somebody else is. And those funds need to go there. You know, Gunroom Radio doesn't need, you know, $70 million budgets. They need probably $10,000 budget, you know, and you start taking more than that, you create more headaches, you open up the opportunity for greed, and you start attracting the wrong people to want to be a part of it. And you lose focus on that mission, you know.
I'll tell you in the most honest way, Will's Warriors has personally experienced that. You know, I've thrown out so many red flags to Jason along the trail of what you're building. You know, Herostock is going to grow and develop into what it's going to be. Yeah. And I said, along the way, you're going to have people who want to, they may have good intentions, but they have their self-interests in the forefront. And those people, unfortunately, come across your path, and you have to be able to weed them out. And, you know, I've navigated those hurdles more times than I care to admit, but, you know, it's the thing that you know, and that's what's great about Herostock is, you know, every single one of these organizations that's come into Herostock, we know them. We have a relationship with them. We know their work. We know the things that they're doing. So, you know, we know that these are, you know, safe organizations and groups that are coming, you know, for our veterans and for our first responders and Gold Star families. So, you know, it's a safe community. And that's what's awesome about Herostock. It's a safe community. You know that, you know, everybody that's there is in support of.
Well, and I'm gonna throw out something kind of funny. So our first show, me and Jesse were on the first show with Deke Lesson, with Veteran Expedition Therapy.
Yep.
he just reached out to me today and said, "Hey, tell Donald hi tonight. By the way, I'm coming to Herostock this year."
Hell yeah, man. I love that dude.
So I thought that was kind of funny that today he reached out and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm coming to Herostock." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sweet.
You know what I love about that dude, man? And he said something in that show that you're talking about that has always stuck with me. He was the first person that had a nonprofit that's helping veterans that I had on my show. I'm not saying he was the first to ever do it. He was just the first to come on my show that incorporated the family members. It wasn't just bring the veteran and put them in the woods by themselves or with another guy. It was incorporating the family to come out, be a part of the fun part, but also be a part about the healing part. And I thought that was cool, man. I really did. And I think it's amazing because, you know, the military spouses, they suffer from this stuff too. You know, they get the other side of it. They get the vomit that's put on them, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I love the dude, man.
I've been following his page really close. Like I watch what he does. He does some really cool shit, like snowmobiling and rock climbing, and like he's doing some really cool stuff out there, man. And his group seems to be getting stronger every event that he puts on. It seems like it's growing and getting bigger, and so it's cool watching him do what he does out there, and then to have him reach out and be like, "Hey, dude, I'm coming to Herostock." So, and then we had Joe Allen Christie. I think Joe Allen Christie, if he tags out early enough, he's going to be at Herostock this year.
Really?
Yep. I was bullshitting with him on his live one night, and I'm like, "Dude, you got to be here. If you're not here, you're wrong." And he was like, "Man," he goes, "that's right in the middle of hunting season. But if I tag out early enough, I'm going to come out there."
That's
cool.
Awesome.
So,
you know, I haven't done any hunting at all. You know, I love deer hunting, but it's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing is I love squirrel hunting. And man, I haven't been out in the woods all year.
Do you know the best time to see a squirrel?
When you're driving down the road.
When you're deer hunting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I'll tag out on squirrels every time I go deer hunting.
Yeah. I mean, I remember last year I reconned a spot for like 4 months, man. I had 4 or 5 cameras up there. Didn't see a single person. Tons of deer. Opening day, I get a notification on my phone, and I look down, and there's some guy driving a 4-wheeler right through my camera. I said, "Oh my God, damn!" Wasn't another deer for 2 weeks after the season, man.
Yep, exactly.
Man, public land sucks.
Yep, it does. It does. But I think we're actually going to come down and see you soon.
Really?
Yeah, we're looking towards the end of September. We may be driving down to Nashville, and we may swing through Rolla, Missouri, because what is it, June 28th, I believe, is what we're talking for a fundraiser down in Rolla, Missouri, with Gunroom Radio and Operation Encore. Yeah,
you're talking about June of 24, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. June 28th to 24. Yep. So we're going down to scout. Me and Jesse, we're gonna go down and we're gonna scout Nashville. We got invited down there by Andrew from the Scuttlebutt podcast, and so we're gonna go down and scout that. But I think we're gonna swing through all on the way through and check out your fairgrounds down there and
absolutely,
talk to the maker and see if we can't get something set up down there for 2024.
Okay. So
if you all need a place to stay to rest up for the rest of the leg, let me know, and you all are more than welcome to stay here, man.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, my first deployment, I did 18 months in country. I deployed with the unit out of Joplin, Missouri.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Real close.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I went through Joplin quite a bit driving truck, man. That's a main spot right there on 44.
Yep.
Everything after that costs money because that's where the toll starts. But yeah, man. So let's get into the bands for Herostock, because I know, look, at the end of the day, we're going to get into the sponsors too, because I know y'all got a ton of sponsors that have been backing this, and I think that is amazing, man. It shows that there is still some decent people out there, because you know, look, I know I used to own a trucking company, and I don't anymore because of the economy. So I know those businesses that are still sponsoring you guys, they're feeling that too. And and the fact that they're still behind you and still helping is amazing. So let's get into the bands, and then we'll get into some of the sponsors.
So kicking us off, my daughter, which sings on Gunroom Radio, she will be starting us off with the anthem. Then she's going to do "God Bless the USA" by Lee Greenwood as the Bravo Zulu group parachutes in with a 20x40 American flag and a gold star flag.
Which, thank you, Bravo Zulu, for the jump.
Yeah, it's the same group he jumped with.
Buddy.
They're going to parachute in with the flag.
I wanted to do it for the event, but they said I had to have a few more jumps in. So
it would look kind of funny you holding the flag jumping tandem, huh?
Yeah, right. No doubt. So then she's actually going to sing one more song, and she's been in the recording studios. And the girl that she's recording with, they're going up on stage, so they'll do their song that they're going to be releasing in September or October.
Awesome, man.
Which is kind of cool. So everybody gets to see a little preview of it. Then we have Taylor Ullman with Guitars for Vets. Amazing lady.
She's another one that's super busy.
Dude, she's everywhere. Like she's doing a 50-mile ruck march right now. And I'm like, 50 miles, you're out of your damn mind. But they're coming in. They're going to kick us off. Super excited to have them. You know, again, another nonprofit that I had no idea about until we started building this year. And then we have the Blue Collar Band coming in out of North Platte, and that's Jesse's band. He brought them in. He was a contact for them.
Huge shout out to the Blue Collar Band. They're incredible. They'll play anything, and I mean they're awesome. It's just a group of guys who. That's what they are. They're all blue collar workers. They play in a band together, and they like to drink beer and have a good time. And that's what they do.
You had me a beer.
Great band. I'm definitely looking forward to Blue Collar Band. Yeah. They'll put on a good show. So
yep. So we got them coming in second. Then Scotty Hastings, the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody should know who Scotty Hastings is. He'll be jumping up on stage for the third band.
He's a beard guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
and then in between Scotty Hastings and Dylan Bloom, Jesse's actually going to be presenting the bike at Herostock to a veteran.
Yep. Our Will Forward's presentation will be right before the last band.
And then Dylan Bloom jumps up and he's going to rock us out the rest of the night. And super excited for Dylan to come in. I've been to a couple of his shows, and he never lets you down. Like, he's always energetic. He brings everybody in. Kind of rocks, kind of country. Just a great dude. Super huge veteran supporter.
Yeah, he's
looking forward to it.
Dylan has supported a friend of mine. He runs Miles for Heroes, and they have an event here in Scribner. Miles for Heroes will actually be at Herostock as one of our vendors. But Dylan plays at their event every year in Nebraska, and he puts on an awesome show, man. So
yeah, I'm super excited. Super excited for the bands this year. It's
you said that town. I have to ask, man, is Scribner Speedway still there? They still racing out there?
I have no idea.
You know what? I'm gonna have to check on that. If they are, I believe it's still there, but I'd have to check, man. I don't know.
Dude, I grew up on that track.
Oh, for real? Really?
Yeah. Dude, you can ask my wife, man, during racing season, if we're going on a date, it's at the track.
Yeah, I grew up
in the wintertime.
I grew up at the track in Hastings, so yeah.
Yep. Hastings, Nebraska too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That was, dirt track racing was my thing when I was young, man. I finally got to do it when I got in the Army, and then I discovered it takes money too. So
that's one thing Nebraska still has, man. We still have the road rallies. We got the derbies. We still have all that back road country fun and cars and throwing mud and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing is right now is we're actually putting vendors on the wait list for next year. So we have 40 plus vendors coming in. I've had 2 reach out in the last week, and I'm like, man, we're packed. Like we are wall to wall packed with vendors.
Yeah.
I said, I can put you on the wait list, and if somebody cancels, I can bring you in, but that's the best I can do right now. And then we'll put you on the list for next year. Oh yeah, sounds great. Let's do that. I'm like, cool. I mean, that's the kind of hype that's behind this right now, is like people are starting to reach out to me instead of me having to reach out to them all the time.
I'm gonna take a little
artist.
I'm gonna take a little credit on this one, and I'm gonna say it now, not because I want this recorded. I told Jason in the very beginning, in the very first conversations, when he said, "Hey man, I got I think when he called me, he said he had 45 days. He waited 15 to call me and was like, "Hey man, I'm down to 30 days. I need your help." And I was like, I'll help. Let's do this. But I told him, I said, Jason, I know what you're doing. And when he told me the idea, one of the very first things I told him, I said, if you build it, they will come. Yep. And when he was talking about hosting the venue out at Round the Bend Steakhouse, I told him from day one that we were going to max out the capacity of what they were going to be able to hold. And he's like, I would be happy if we get, 500 people, whatever. And then when he told me what the venue size was, I was like, we're going to have more than what this venue can hold. And I don't think he believed me, but
I'm beginning to.
That's exactly that, but that's what it is. It's the importance of what this is. It's not that we're doing something so great and grand and people are taking part of this thing. What we're doing is so much bigger than us. It's bigger than all of the vendors. It's bigger than the donors. It's bigger than all of that. It's the culmination of everything. And it's like when he's like, I didn't realize that this was needed. No, this was needed more than anybody realized. We just came out of a pandemic. We came out of a lockdown. We came out of all of these things. We're on the other side of that now. Now we're at a point where we need to come together. We need to be a nation uniting. We need to bring these nonprofits together. We need to start building people up. We need to build up our communities. And Herostock is the event that's going to do it.
Yeah. And that's so true, that the communities get behind these projects, and it's not just because big events like this bring in new money. That's not what it is. Because there's a little town here. Every year we do what's called suckerfish gigging. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it, but we reach out to the Fort Lost in the Woods here. We've partnered with Mo Vets, and they'll put it up, and we have 5. There's an association there in the little town that has 5 boats, and we take veterans out there. It's October 7th this year. We take veterans out there. That whole area is funded by Airbnbs. People have built cabins and everything else. We have people that donate Airbnbs for any of the veterans that want to stay overnight. There's a little cafeteria that pays for breakfast for every veteran that wants to come and eat the next morning before they go home. We get there about noon, and I think last year we had 5 pounds of catfish, 10 pounds of venison, and we ate all day long until the sun went down to where we could start going out and gigging. And we ended up catching 175 fish last year. I mean, it was just amazing.
I just had some of the best catfish I have ever had down at Table Rock Lake, not 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. And suckerfish are real bony, so I mean, it's more about the fun of going out there. And you said you had never seen it, so
the suckerfish. You say suckerfish, I think of carp.
No, these are they look more like catfish without the whiskers is what they look like.
Okay.
There's one they call a hoghead. It's camouflage colored.
I've heard of the hoghead yet.
Yep, those are the better ones. They don't move as fast. They try to just hide, and makes it a little bit easier. But the water down here is just crystal clear. So they take these bright ass stadium lights and they put them on the end of their boats. And you're talking about water that is I don't know, 4 foot deep at the most. And these boats are barely in the water, and and you just tootle around, and you got two people on the front with the lights pointing down, and you got these little forks like Zeus, and you're just killing fish, man, you know.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, it's you know, we take some beer out there and just have a great time, man. And I still have people hitting me up about conversations that happened last year about it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's just camaraderie and having a good time. You know, one of the guys brought a trailer down there to sleep in, and the axle broke. You know, we woke up the next morning, and his axles was literally, instead of space, they were touching. You know, the hangers broke on it. And, you know, we called a guy that we knew, and he brought a welder out there. We jacked it up, got it all welded up, and they were able to get back home, you know. And it was just a great time, man, you know. And that's what it takes. You know, it's not a huge event. We usually only bring about 25 to 30 veterans out there, just because, you know, you're real limited to how many people you can put in the boat and so forth. But
Sure.
you know, it's a great time, man. You know.
Yep.
So,
And it's the camaraderie. It's the family.
it is
getting together. It's getting out of the house.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah,
what it's
man.
all about.
Yep.
That's a constant conversation that we have about, you know, this Herostock thing is just blowing up. And it's like, you know, the idea is, you know, we're keeping this small, we're keeping this close knit, we're keeping this family, we're keeping this, you know, what it's supposed to be about the camaraderie and all this. You know, we don't want to host a, you know, 50,000 person concert night where we don't get to connect with the people who are there.
Right.
That's not what it's not about that. It's about the connection. So,
yeah.
You know, Herostock may be, you know, a 2-night venue or something like that where we have rock or country or whatever it may be. But, you know, the feeling of that family and that togetherness is the key component, you know. And I think Jason has said that from day one, is that the responsibility of this lies on the people, you know, building it to ensure that the draw that brought everybody to this idea stays that, and that never changes. So that's the main focus, is to keep it real, keep it close, and keep it family.
So I don't know if you realize it or not, but you're doing more than just that. So when you guys started reaching out to some of these veterans, you know, some of them are brand new to this gigging scene. And when what you guys are building may be giving people opportunity to, one, maybe make a little bit money if they're charged that event. But if nothing else, you just put people in the center of Connectville.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This particular one, how many news agencies is going to be out there? You said like 4 or 7 or something.
There's
like that?
Possibility of 4, yeah.
Yeah, so four news agencies coming out there. And even, you know, let's say, like we're talking about Barbara Sims, you know, she wasn't necessarily scheduled to play, but she's going to stop by.
Yep.
You're crazy if you don't think she's going to benefit from that. You know, I mean, she's going to meet somebody that will help her, or she's going to learn something about something that's going to help her, you know. Yep. And I think that's amazing, you know, because when I got into that scene, I didn't know nothing about the music industry. I really didn't, man. I just seen people struggling that was trying to make a living doing something that I agreed with, you know. And the whole not getting heard and getting hidden and censored. I mean, hell, they can't even play their own music on Facebook without getting muted for playing their own music, you know. So how the hell are you supposed to get, you know, they don't have $1,000 budgets to go get in the studios and get these big ass contracts and shit. So you know, the fact that you're helping them, man, that was one of the things that drew to me, because I was starting Herostock about the time I met you, or not Herostock, Gunroom Radio. You know, about the time that I met you, Gunroom Radio was still in the planning stages, you know. And so I think just we aligned awesome, man, because we cared about the same thing, you know, just veterans getting help and opportunities and a day of awe. Just feels good to just not be thinking about the bullshit, you know.
100%.
And families can come out there and they can have good times, you know, because I know for a fact, and I've talked about it a lot on my show, you know, I've had issues, you know, before when I was getting out of the military with my son, and there's still that huge separation from things that I fucked up, you know. But these people that are coming out that are going through that, they're going to bring their kids out to an event, and that's going to be one night for sure that the kids are in, the mom and the dad and everybody can have a great time and forget about the bullshit.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
so you're doing a lot more than just connecting people, man. You're connecting families, you're connecting careers, and I think it's amazing.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, it really has. Actually, I just had Malicious. They posted on, Brian posted something, and they posted on there, and they're like, "What's this Herostock, man? We want to be a part of this." Well, I'm actually going to talk to them for 2022, and I think Souls Worn Thin is actually one. They want to come in for 2020 or 2024 also. So,
Man.
What's cool about that too is, you know, we mentioned Wheels for Warriors. We've given away 38 motorcycles all over the United States.
Yeah,
We literally have connections to organizations all across the United States. So that stuff's already built in place. So when we start brainstorming ideas about like, hey man, like at these Herostock events, like if we're on the road doing these events, man, let's give away a bike at every single one of these events.
Yep.
You know,
your airbrusher might be mad.
I'll tell you what,
you did was amazing.
That bike that we're giving away on Veterans Day with the Nebraska Cornhuskers, that bike is unbelievable. I actually, I already tried to rope him in for another bike next year, and I started hearing the cash register ching in, and I was like, yeah, the work he did on that bike is unbelievable. So yeah, Armando Villarreal with Villarreal Studios. He's a veteran himself. Airbrush artist. He does
Artist is an understatement.
Sports memorabilia, like I mean, you name it, Hall of Fame, you know, memorabilia, like just unbelievable. You had to check him out. So
no, I reached out to him to have him on the show, and his response was, "Man, I'd love to, but let me get this bike done first."
Dude, he does. Man, I'll tell you what, he does football helmets for, you know, different things throughout the football seasons and stuff like that, and he will hand airbrush the entire team's helmets. Like, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That is his talent is from God, dude. I was looking through his page, and the shit he does is just holy crap, man. How is he not being bragged about by some famous, you know, rich guy, you know, out there?
So I'll throw this out there. I know two of his clients are Kevin Hart and Shaquille O'Neal, because I actually got Armando painted my motorcycle, and he did the Death and Resurrection of Christ for my whole bike, and Shaquille O'Neal liked it on Facebook, and I was like, what? I was like, Shaq likes my bike.
You're screenshotting that.
I got a picture of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like that with poker, man. I had who was it? Was it I was the mouth Modicel liked a post that I made on Twitter, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, that's cool. But yeah,
I had
man,
JB Brown wish me happy birthday.
Did
on
he?
Facebook. I sent it to my daughter. I'm like, it's pretty cool when guys that are up and comers are wishing you happy birthday on your Facebook page. She just rolled her eyes at me.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, JB Brown is an amazing dude, man. That was still to this day one of my favorite interviews, was when he was on the show.
But here's my problem now, right? With all these guys and gals that you're bringing out, I'm like, who the hell do I book? Because they're all so good.
The answer is yes.
Right?
That's why we're having 2 nights instead of 1 night.
Yeah.
You know, and
I feel you, man.
My ultimate goal is to grab the Zach Bryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's Navy vet, huge.
Yep.
Get 20,000 people to be able to put these veteran singers in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And have people actually listen to them and go, my comment every time, why the hell are these people not mainstream?
Yeah.
Because they're that good.
Yeah, I reached out to old Zach Bryan. I got the goose egg.
Well, hey, in the conversation we talk about, when we do these events, you get networking and you get to meet people and you get to, share resources and stuff like that. I literally had a conversation with Jason today about getting a hold of Kyle Conkle, bass player for Bad Wolves, and seeing about getting him on one of the podcasts during Herostock. So I don't know if you know a guy, but maybe we might need to get him on to maybe say a couple words and say hi and something.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you might be available.
I was still shocked that somebody reached out and said, I am definitely going to be on the air with him. And that was Rick Yee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That blew my mind, man.
Yeah. That was super cool. He's more excited than I am about the event.
Dude, he's an awesome.
So excited to come in, and
I just literally signed up for his course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet. I'm going to, but I haven't made that step yet. So
yeah, he is and the people that are in it are just like him, dude. It's amazing so far. I've only been in it for a week now. I just my first session was Monday. So, but from what I've seen and the organization that he's put together, it's just tremendous. It really is, So I'm looking forward to spending the day with him on the radio and on the air. And man, I hope he stays all night and we just sit there and talk about artists and get their music out there and just have a good time, man.
Yeah, he's a super good dude.
I think he's planning on coming to your pre-party too.
Awesome. Yeah, I hadn't heard that yet, so I think the pre-party's got out of hand. It is no longer at my house at this point. We may be moving it to the Airbnb that Jesse rented because I can't put 50 people in my front yard or my neighbors will be calling the cops.
I gotta get it okayed by the Airbnb.
Yeah,
we'll have it somewhere. We'll figure out a place to have it because it's going to happen.
Look, man, I'm staying at the Super 8. They're used to disorderly people. So.
I think we've got Barbara Sim coming in for sure.
Yep.
Joe Allen Christie, if he tags out early. Derek will be there. Derek Thompson with his guitar. Scotty's going to be playing. Taylor said she's going to come down and play.
Blue Collar will probably be there.
Blue Collar might show up. Dylan Bloom might show up. I mean, we may have the whole freaking lineup plus.
We might have a concert before the concert.
Yeah. Well, all this motivated me. So I don't know if y'all heard, but since I started this, man, I feel like I've gotten way more blessings back than I've gave. Joel, a Coast Guard veteran that was on my organization, I had him on after he graduated from Guitars for Vets, right? Yeah. And I see him all the time on YouTube and everything else. Well, he partnered with Creative Vet, I think is who it is.
Okay.
And Guitars for Vets. There's two of them are sending him people. Mm-hmm. Well, he reached out to me and he's like, man, I want to teach you how to play guitar. I said, man, I want to learn, but I said, how much am I looking at for a guitar? And he's like, he told me and I started looking him up. I said, look, man, I said, I'm down. We're going to do it. Let me get Gunroom Radio funding itself. So I'm not footing the bills and everything. I said, and then we'll come back. We'll circle back to this and I'm down. He reached out to me. I don't know. It's probably about a month or so later. He said, hey, I got something for you. I said, what's that? He said, I got a guitar. We're going to start lessons.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he mailed me a guitar, man. And so I'm now learning to play guitar, you know? So I think, dude, like you said, man, this networking of people that just care, because that's really all it is. He's not a part of, any super big organization. He just literally cares about reaching veterans and enjoying the talk. And I enjoy talking with him. And I think we do more of the talking than we do of the playing. And the talking definitely sounds better than my playing. But, but I'm enjoying it, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm looking forward to Herostock because of the same reasons.
Yep.
You know, I know I'm going to meet some amazing people. I'm going to meet you guys for the first time, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm so excited for all the podcasts that are coming in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the Scuttlebutt coming in. You're coming in with two drunk dudes. Tom's coming in with Every Second Counts. Eric's coming in with Contagion. Ryan's coming in with Every Day.
Yep.
Rick E's coming in with the Warrior Mindset. I know I'm going to forget people, but I think These Fucking Feelings are coming in from New York.
Yeah. I reached out to them too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Great. It was a great podcast. You know, I mean, they did a great job with their podcast. Great people. And I've actually referred, I think, 5 or 6 different people over to them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another piece of it. Like, I'm doing all these podcasts and I'm able to go, hey, you know what? I know this guy. Here, let me get you in touch with him. You know, and Dylan Bloom, actually, he wants to do some podcasts. And I'm like, brother, when you want to, let me know, because I've done like 23, 22, 23. I don't even know where I'm at anymore.
Hell, if he wants to do one at Herostock, come on.
Yeah. And maybe he will. Who knows? The cool thing is it's just, so I got the Unzip Mind. They're coming in from Oregon.
Okay.
They're actually going to be setting up equipment to do a podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've pulled from basically every coast. We the People, People's Patriot Project. They're coming down.
Jonathan's I seen that. Yeah, Jonathan's coming. Yeah.
Like, I think we're at is it 12 states now? I don't even know where it's at anymore. How many different states we have coming in? Maybe 16 states, something like that.
I thought it was 18, but
yeah, 16 or 18 states that are coming in. Year 2.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm ashamed to show right now, but if you've seen what the table looks like in front of me, I've got wires everywhere from different things I'm trying for setting up for the streaming and different camcorders. And I bought them. I got a mixing board now because my other board didn't do so well over there at Tim Newton's event. So I actually got a real mixing board now. And man, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a hell of a night. 40 plus vendors. Most of them are veteran nonprofit. We do have some for-profits that are coming in. Forged in Fire, Steel Pig Forge. He was on Forged in Fire twice, and I think he was actually the tournament champion. He's coming in to raffle off a knife. Wow!
And I mean, just like crazy shit, right? And we've got possibly 2 really special guests that may end up showing up that night. We've got invites out to both of them, one personal invite, one through text. So we can have some crazy guests showing up too.
Let's not forget about the important people. We got distilleries coming.
We do have distilleries coming. Yeah, I mean,
I may have to hand off the MC duties to you.
You know, I promise you there will be a bottle going home with me, man. I will help support these little businesses.
Right. But yeah, we've got we got in with Unanimous this year, the media and marketing firm here in Lincoln. They amazing. Like,
which Will's 4 years is also looking at working with Unanimous as well. So
yeah, I mean it was awesome. Like, they redid our logo, because our logo last year was literally my face with aviators.
I know. When that first webpage, when I first started building that webpage for you, I was like, that's the okay, well, here we go.
Actually, I have about 200 of those shirts that I printed last year that I'm selling this year for $5 a shirt as the vintage Herostock.
The
vintage. They're a whole year old.
Translated in Latin, you're getting the leftovers from last year.
Right.
I will say that after the Bearded Beauty T-shirt printing, we had marketing meetings after that.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Well, look, we still need some Jason 316 shirts,
or the mayor,
There's
now bullet.
Oh, come on, don't freeze up again. Oh.